welcome back to All Things Pop Pop. Today I want to discuss the new synopsis that we have for the Batman v Superman movie. Fearing the actions of a godlike superhero left unchecked, Gotham City's own formidable, forceful vigilante takes on Metropolis's most revered modern-day savior, while the world wrestles with what sort of hero it really needs. And with Batman and Superman at war with one another, a new threat quickly arises, putting mankind in greater danger than it's ever known before. There are a few words that stand out. The first is Godlike Superhero. So, of course, this is in reference to Superman, and this is how Batman sees Superman, as a godlike entity that needs to be stopped. We know that Batman, of course, is going to be wary of anyone who is as powerful as Superman is, and wants to help humanity. Why? You know, Batman's always a skeptic, so of course he's going to assume that if you have the means to destroy the world, you will do just that. No one really believes that you're going to just do good for the sake of doing good, especially since you're from an alien planet. Why would you care about humans? In the trailer, we saw a world that was split. There were a lot of people who loved Superman and they appreciated what he did. Others, not so much. They were very concerned as to this guy who has powers and they really know nothing about, and is he trustworthy? So, of course, that's Batman's view as well. He's not going to trust anyone who has so much power, especially when you go back to the trailer and you have that moment where we have Bruce Wayne just looking at his costume, looking super somber, and Alfred telling him how power really corrupts people. And so, of course, that applied to Batman, but of course he's going to apply that to Superman as well. Which then brings me to the next term, forceful vigilante. Now this is perfect. If I got anything out of the synopsis, it was the forceful vigilante that I liked most. When I think of Batman, that's like, those are the perfect words. Not only does it show that it's either Batman's way or the highway, but when you think of vigilante, it means that not everyone considers Batman a hero. People are still cautious about him. They don't know what team he's on, and so when you have this forceful vigilante like Batman, of course he's gonna see this godlike superhero and think that he must be stopped. The fact that we're gonna have a Batman that's searching out Superman, it also makes me wonder if Superman knows anything about Batman, because as a reporter, I'm gonna assume that vigilantism, someone like Batman in a crazy ass costume, is gonna be spoken about. I don't think that's gonna be very local to Metropolis. I'm pretty sure the nation kind of knows that there's someone like Batman out there. So will Superman in any way be prepared for this? Will he be expecting Batman to come after him? This is, we'll find out. The next term that was really interesting was the revered savior, and of course that's in reference to Superman because he saved humans from Zod, and they've never had to experience some kind of alien attack the way that they did in Man of Steel. And so of course they're going to be people who think that he is God. He is the new Jesus Christ coming to save them. And then there are others who are very weary of him because how is he any different from the people he saved them from, and what's stopping him from then turning on humanity? What I'm most curious about is the population breakdown. So how many people are team Superman and how many are against him? The trailer did lead us to believe that since there's statues of him, that the general population is okay with Superman, but the fact that he had graffiti over it showed that, yeah, there were people who are not with him at all. My initial belief was that the people who didn't like Superman were in the minority, but actually I think the opposite is true. I think that it's very local to Metropolis. I think people appreciate what Superman did there, and they're the ones who revere him. But then the rest of the world is thinking bigger. They're like, whoa, okay, so he saved this small little city that probably no one cares about. But what does that mean for the rest of us? Right? And that's really interesting because we don't know how many people are for him, how many against him. But then we also know that there are people who are following him, and the trailer shows that there are soldiers with his insignia. I cannot assume that that's just the government. I'm gonna guess that there's like a group of people who have dedicated themselves to following Superman because they think that he is the new savior. And that's another reason why Batman has to be wary. If you have this man that's like a god, and then he has this huge following of people that are armed and are willing to fight for him, he now has his own army. That is so scary. So of course Batman is definitely going to challenge the idea that Superman is a savior and really see him as the villain. And so when you have someone as powerful as Superman and someone as smart as Batman, you can only wonder what their encounter is going to be like and how it all turn out. How will they make friends? That's another thing I want to know. So we know that they're going to, how they turn against each other, but how will they become friends? Now, based on this synopsis, it's because they have to come together for a larger threat. Now that's interesting and it makes sense because how else are they going to settle their differences? Ultimately, I always see Batman as really gruff. He's not a team player. And then Clark, if Batman has something to teach him, he would kind of want to stick around. He would want to know, since Batman has been a vigilante for so long, how can Clark do the same? How can he keep his identity secret? There's so many things that he can learn from Batman. So I'm really interested to see if their relationship is going to develop in this movie, or if they're going to wait to develop it in the next coming movies, and maybe this movie just ends in a truce. I'm curious about that. But in terms of the villain, which is the next thing that stands out for this synopsis, is it's gonna be like this game-changing villain, and Earth is in great danger, and there are so many theories out there as to who this threat is. Many people think it's Lex Luthor, and I don't think that's Lex Luthor at all. Sure, he doesn't believe that such a powerful group, like physically powerful group, should have in any way like the respect of the people when they can easily turn against humans. So Lex Luthor, sure, he's a powerful threat, but he's a powerful threat in the sense that he can sway the masses. He can persuade anyone to really go for or against the Justice League. So for him, that's where his power comes from. The fact that he has influence over people. There are also theories that Black Adam is the big threat. And if that's the case, then wow, that is a game changer. That would be amazing. I don't think that's true because of the fact that we don't even have magic established in Man of Steel to then just bring Black Adam in there and be like, oh, he's the big bad and there's magic, and on top of everything else that was going on. I think that's a little too much to handle, especially in the first movie. Now, the threat that I do think is plausible, that would be such a huge threat to humanity, is Doomsday. Now, we've been hearing a lot of rumors that Doomsday is going to be the big bad. We don't know if that's true or not, but the reason why I think Doomsday would work in this movie is because he's so powerful that it would justify having a Justice League. Doomsday is known in the comic books as the one who killed Superman. So if he can kill and destroy and really hurt Superman, then how does anyone else stand a chance? They don't. And so this is a great way to validate the formation of a Justice League. If you have someone as powerful as Doomsday, and maybe they don't defeat him right away, maybe he kind of like leaves off and like, licking his wounds, and he's like, I'll be back. And they'll be like, oh, we gotta be ready for him. We need more people. We need like our own group of super beings to fight this threat when it does return. I think that's a really great way to really start off the Justice League. So this synopsis isn't really long and it doesn't give us too much, but it does let us work our theories in there. So I'm so excited that we have, even if it's just a little bit of information, and I'm hoping that for San Diego Comic-Con we get more and more news. And what do you guys think about this synopsis? Did it answer any of your questions? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you again for watching.